Hello, this is Jilly from Jilly's Creative Corner. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a really quick, easy card. You don't need too many products either. And there's all sorts of different colour combinations you could use for it. So this is the card that I'm going to be showing you how to make today. It's a beautiful new stamp set that's out in the new mini catalogue that runs through to the end of June. I'm sure if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I absolutely love flowers. And so this was right up my street. So it's a big background stamp. You do need a big block for it. So this block, Stampin' Up, do you sell the blocks? So this block is pretty much 6 inches till just under 5 inches. So just pop this on. So as you can see, it fills up the whole block, but it's absolutely beautiful. So what I've done is I've sponged this. I've sponged the different flowers, and I've done all sorts of different things with it, and I'll just show you some of the ones that I did. So it's all the same colour combination. I've used Mango Melody, Coastal Cabana and Melon Mambo, but in different combinations. So this is I've done this one, and I've backed it with a piece of Melon Mambo. This one I've done more Mango Melody, so it's a yellow, rich yellow colour, with just some small amounts of the other two colours. This one I did a lot more Coastal Cabana. I've also sponged all the edges. So on this card that I've mounted and finished for you, I've sponged all the outside edge with Melon Mambo. With this one I've sponged it because it's predominantly Mango Melody. I've actually edged it with that same colour. This one I had more Coastal Cabana I added, so I've added the edge. What I probably do is I would back the cards with that colour. So the colour that I've sponged around the outside edge, I would probably back with the same colour cardstock. And so when you do your own, if you've got the coloured cardstock that you're using to match your inks, then you would use that cardstock to match the inks that you've used. It's just, this is the colours that I've used. And then also, so with this one, I just decided to cut not literally, I decided to, with a sponge that bit one colour, then the whole middle bit, the pink, and then the bottom bit, the green. So you can do an awful lot of different things with it, and then of course you would put that over the top, so you're still seeing a lot of the pattern. So that was the different colourways that I did mine. So I'm just going to show you how to do that today. So to make the cards, either you buy in your bases, or like me, you make your own. So to make the base card, you would use basic white thick, because it's more substantial to hold the card with all its decoration on. And you would, so an A4 sheet is 8 1/4 wide anyway. So what you would do is on the long side, you would cut it at just just slightly before the 5 7/8, and that makes 2 cards out of an A4 sheet of cardstock, so you get 2 bases out of that, and then you would score that on the long side at 4 1/8, which is basically that. So that is 8 1/4, scored down the middle at 4 1/8, folded. That's your base. So that means then that the front of your base card measures 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So then you want to come in with your coloured cardstock. We just want an 1/8 of an inch border all the way round, so that it's like a picture frame but a very thin picture frame. So that will come in and measure, you want one of them at 4 inches by 5 3/4. That's 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then you want to come in with your basic white piece, and this is the piece that you're going to do your stamping, your flower stamp on, and that's coming in at 3 7/8 by 5 5/8, and that basically is just giving you, you've got a little border, and then you've just got a pop of colour there in between, because what you want the main focus to be is on this beautiful stamp. So you really want to have a maximum amount of colour, like on here. So you've just got a splash of the pink. I think I did that a little bit wider, but I really want to focus on the stamp as opposed to the colour behind. So I'm bringing my stamp in, and I've got my 3 colours and I've got my 3 daubers. So when they start getting a bit rough like that, I just can take the end off, so it makes it a bit smoother. So you need 3 of I've got the finger daubers. They're very easy to use. So because I've got a pink background, I'm going to make mine predominantly more pink than the other colours. So I'm going to come in with my pink one first. Just turn it around. Just pick up some ink onto your sponge. And just circle round. It will look like you haven't got much ink on there, but trust me, you do. We do this flower here. Let's do this little quarter here. We do this corner down here. You know, it just depends on how, you know, which of the flowers you want to be which colour. I'm not going to close that up because I'll probably come back in and use, so now I'm going to bring in Coastal Cabana. Probably just come in on here. Do this big flower down here. Remember to do all the edges. Just pop in with the Mango Melody. Now I haven't got any on this corner here, so I'll just pop in this corner here. some pink there, so I'll just bring some, and then I'm just going to come back in with some pink on this big flower here. So you can see when you've got them all covered. And if you take in your time and you think, oh, it might not be damp enough, so what you can do is just on it. So it just dampens the ink down up again. So then you pick up your basic white, turn it over, and very carefully place it down on there. And then I got a piece of scrap paper over the top, and then so it doesn't move about, hold it with one hand and then press it all into the cardstock so that the cardstock picks up all the ink. So I think that should be enough now, so I'm just going to take this piece off and then lift this piece up. Oh, there. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. So there's your background stamp. See, even it doesn't really matter that they've sort of blended in, but you get lots of flowers that all blend in. I'm going to come in with my pink dauber again and pick up some ink and just go round the edges, just to make all the edges ping. Okay, so now all that I've edged it all in pink. So if you just pop it on there, so you just got that ping of colour on the all the way around the outside edge, and it blends in with the pink that you've just daubed all the way around. Daubed doesn't sound such a sounds like you've made a mess, but actually it's beautiful. Then what you need is you need a scrap of paper. So I use this stamp set, Happiest of Birthdays. It's a beautiful, I love the font on this, and it's a lovely sentiment, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. It's nice and big as well, so it means that you haven't got huge amounts of decorating to do on your card. So, you know, because all the background you've done, made all that beautiful background, you only really need to put a nice sentiment and some rhinestones on and a little bit of ribbon, and there's your card, you know. So you need a piece of the basic white, and you really need a piece that's probably about 4 1/4 by 3. So these are the dies that I have used. They are Stampin' Up's rectangular stitched dies. You get all these in the pack. I've used the die number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's just big enough to put my big stamp in. You don't want it overly big, you just want it big enough that all the words fit on it nicely. I'll put a link anyway to these dies below the video. So now I'm just going to bring in Melon Mambo ink and my nice big stamp, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And because it's quite a big stamp, I like to put the ink onto the stamp as opposed to that way round. It just means I get to cover it better. And then with my grid paper, I'm going to line that up push it down. So make sure it has a good covering. So there's your lovely sentiment, and that's going to go into the middle of your card. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring in my polka dot ribbon, and I want a piece that's just going to sit across the front and just tuck around the back. So I just want a piece like that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my Stampin' seal, just pop some in the middle of my card, and then bring in pop it where I think the middle is. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got glue on here, I'm just going to add some more. I'm just going to add some over that ribbon as well. Bit of ribbon. I'm going to bring in my piece of backing Melon Mambo. I'm just going to cut a little bit more off of that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread that. I'm going to thread that up through there, and just to this, as you look at it, your right hand side. I mean, you could put it on your left hand side, but I'm just going to put it on my right hand side and just tie it there. I'm just going to leave it at that length at the moment, because then I want to see when this goes over, I'll decide then how much to cut off. So then I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. I like them to be evenly spaced so that I don't have any dips in it. I know some of my crafty friends are quite frugal with these. I'm not quite so frugal. I like it that it's, when you put it down, you haven't got dips everywhere. So I'm going to bring this in. Just going to take the backing. You can see how quick this card actually is to put together. Once you've got all the products that you need by your side, it's very quick to put them together. You could, you know, when you've got a big stump like that out, you could do what I did with the others and just mix up the colours, and then you'd have a lot of backing. You'd have a lot of top ones ready for, you know, other cards. You could just pop them into a basket and you'd know that you've got some for, you know, if you needed to do something quickly. You've got a nice backing. You've only got to find sentiments and that. So now I've popped that over to one side. So now I've got these little bits here. I think what I'll do is, though, I'm going to bring in my base card. And I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal onto. And then I can see, when I've put it on here, I can see how much width I've got to play with. So can see how quickly it is to put this card together. So now I'm just going to come in with my ribbon scissors and just pop a little like that. So what I'm going to do now is, this colour here was Mango Melody, and we actually have some blender pens that in that colour. So rather than just have silver rhinestones, I'm going to bring in, so these are the two colours, they come in packs of two, the blendy pens. So you get a dark Mango Melody and then a light one. So I'm going to come in with my dark one. I'll just pop that to a side a moment. I'm going to come in with my rhinestones, and you can actually colour the rhinestones. So I'm going to take some medium ones, and this is the brush end. So you've got a brush end, which is this one, and then you have like a pen end, so more if you had tiny areas to colour, or I suppose you could just write with that end. But I'm going to take the brush end and gently, because we don't want to mess up the ends too much, just gently rub colour over. So I want 5, so I want 3 at the top and 2 down at the bottom. So I'm just going to colour in 5. We don't have every single colour that matches every single colour that we do in the Stampin' Up family colours, but we do have a lot of them. But on this card particularly, we do have the Mango Melody, so that's why I thought that I would, especially as we've got quite a lot of pink on here. Just going to pop 3. So look, I've just touched that and it's still a goldy yellowy colour. It doesn't come off once it's on there. Pop 2, 3 down there. I'm going to pop 2 down here. And there's your card. Quick, easy, very pretty. It's got a bit of texture with the ribbon on it. You've coloured your rhinestones in, so you haven't got to stay with the same old silver. But very little product really. What was that? 2 stamp sets and 3 colours and 3 daubers. And so a little bit of ribbon. Oh, and your blendy pen. But it's not a huge amount. So I did have a thought about decorating the inside of the cards. And I came up with, if you've got a strip of cardstock, you could have it in your scraps. So I did 1 inch wide by 4 1/8. And what I thought was, if I sponged up my edge, so done pink there, come in with Mango Melody next, and then Coastal Cabana last. Just going to pop a little bit more pink on the side there. You don't want it right on the very edge because you'll get the straight line on it. So then take your, just get these out of the way because I'll get covered otherwise. I know myself too well. So I've got the ink down that side there. If I bring in my inch width by 4 1/8 and pop it down there, and come in with my piece of paper again so I don't get it covered all over my hands. So you could do a load of these at the same time when you've got your stamp out already and all your inks out. You would just do a load of these at the same time. Let's pick that up, and there you've got a beautiful card. You can make bookmarks out of these, couldn't you? Wow, that would be a good idea. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop it in the bottom there, right edge to edge. So I would put some glue. I'll put some glue on there. And pop it in the, up to the score line there. And if you've got some over, I've got a little tiny edge there, so I just come in with my snips. So you could pop that little piece in the bottom there and put your sentiment in there and write whatever you want to write. It just brings a little bit of the outside of your card inside, and it looks really pretty. So there's your beautiful card. As I said, it didn't take too long at all. You could have a few of these done in different colours in a basket, and so if you needed a card in a hurry, then you'd only need to make a base card and a backing card, and quickly glue it all together, put your sentiment on, and you've got your card. I mean, it was quick to make, just from scratch, but if you had a few like I've got here, I've got potentially another 3 cards here, and they're all going to be slightly different because you're going to be putting different colours in different places. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be great if you make something similar yourself. You can always buy any of the products I use through my shop on my website, and I put all the links to everything I've used today. I put all the links below the video, so you can just click on the link and it'll take you straight to my shop. So if you've enjoyed the video, it'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel. I'm aiming to do a video every Tuesday, releasing a video every Tuesday afternoon. I'm doing some easy ones at the moment, so that, you know, if you're beginning, or if you are experienced, but you know, you just sometimes it's thinking outside, oh, what can we do? I need a quick card, and these are very quick cards. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So I'm just going to show you very quickly. Obviously this was a thought while I was making the card. We could actually make a very quick bookmark to go with it. So this is a scrap piece of thick basic white, 2 inches wide, and I bought in the delightful tag topper. So this is the punch for the tag topper. So I'll just open this, pop my card in. Right to the end, so you can see it there. It goes right to the end. And it's even each side. Got an even gap between those there. And just punch it down. So that gives you the top there, and then I'm going to cut it down. So the maximum we can make this is, we want it to fit within the length of that, which is about 5.5. Oh, it's about 5. So it's just over 5.5. So because you actually want it, you don't want it over these edges, you want it within. I'm going to cut for my bookmark that, you can see there, just before the 5.5 mark there, and bring it down. That could probably make you a second one. I'm just showing you this quickly because, as I said, it was a bit of an afterthought, and obviously you probably would have thought of this as well, whilst this was still had ink on it. I haven't, so I'm going to bring mine in, quickly ink it up again. Right, so I haven't done the whole stamp because obviously it's only 2 inches wide. So I'm going to pop this down. There, I'm bringing my piece of copy paper again. Just making sure that I've got it all covered. And then pick it up. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm just going to ink that up a little bit more. And I'll do the other side so that when I give it to my friend, if it turns over, she's got both sides, even though there'll only be ribbon on one. There. Then do exactly the same. Pop that on there. Copy paper on top and push quite hard because you know, this is the thicker cardstock I was using this time as well. So you wanted to transfer the ink and the pattern onto the back. And there you've got your back one. So as we've got nice rounded edges here, I'm going to bring in my corner puncher and punch the corner. So you pop it in like that for that side and then pop it that way. And there you've got a nice round edge. I'm going to bring in some polka dot ribbon that matches the card. Bring in a little piece of that. Fold that in half. Just pop that through the hole there. So open it up like that, pull the ends, put the ends together and pull them through. There, so you've got a nice little knot like that. So there's your ends. And just to finish it off, so this spare piece that was on the bottom of there. So the stamps that I used for my video last week for the flashcards, I used Brush Blooms stamp set and framelits. So I want to bring this in again and just use that stamp for my forever friend. So I'm going to cut this at You just need a scrap really, but I had this over, cut it at 1 1/4. So that'll be 1 1/4 inches by 2 inches wide. I'll probably have it up a bit because you can still see the Coastal Cabana. If I put it sort of in the middle, that's taken out the Coastal Cabana, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to pop it at the top a bit. So I'm just going to put this on my trusty grid paper, bring in For My Forever Friend and Melon Mambo. Pop that down like that. And there's that. I'm not going to round it because it's going to sit there on the straight side, so I don't really want to round it, but I am going to bring in my dauber and daub the edges just a little bit. I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back. Bring this in. Just pop it there so I can still see some of the Coastal Cabana popping through. Okay, sorry about that. The video decided to give up the ghost as I was still talking. So, and I didn't realise. So, but all I did extra that wasn't videoed was I bought in the rhinestones the same as I did with the card. Coloured 5 of them in using the dark mango melody, and just popped them on the bookmark. So now you've got a lovely card and a matching bookmark for a loved one, a friend, whoever you want it for really. But obviously you would have made your bookmark at the same time as you made your background stamp. It's just, that was an afterthought on my behalf.